Last year on Amazon, I sold over $2,700 worth of this plastic gutter right here. On that product, I was able to make about $500 in net profit for my Amazon business. And with the methods that I'm going to show you in this YouTube video today, I'm able to find a bunch of products just like this one every single day to sell on my Amazon store. If you're new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields. I'm a full-time high six-figure Amazon seller. And last year during my senior year of college, I was able to make over $100,000 in net profit selling on Amazon without creating my own brand or anything like that. So in this video, we're going to be diving into some of my favorite strategies to source products doing online arbitrage. But before we do that, I want to mention that if you're looking for even more free resources to learn how to sell on Amazon, directly below me is going to be linked our completely free Amazon seller Discord community. There's over 20,000 people in there sharing tons of free information. Would love to see you in there, but let's go ahead and jump into the video. So diving into the computer here now, I just wanted to prove to you that I did actually sell this product. You can see I sold a little over $2,700 worth of this product on Amazon. Not too bad at all for some cheap plastic gutter, right? I ended up selling these for an average sale price of about $11.50, $11.60, somewhere around there. And I was buying these for about $4.50 to $4.80. Depending on price fluctuations, there was a little bit of a coupon that I was using sometimes on this item. But here it is over on Amazon. You can see last summer/winter, this item was selling pretty consistently on the Keepa chart here. We can see, just to show you here, it was selling pretty consistently between about $13 down to $11, but this was a really profitable item. I went ahead and plugged it into SellerAmp over here, and it's really not selling as fast as it used to. It says it only sells about 148 sales per month. This item lasted quite a while for me, about a couple months, but it's just the natural way that items on Amazon are going to go, especially when you're not controlling the item. You're going to sell it for a couple months, maybe a year. There's some items that I've been selling since I was selling this item, but those are not super common. But the goal of an online arbitrage business is to consistently be finding products just like this one that I was able to make about $3 profit per unit on. Looks like the fees have actually changed. I think we've had 2 fee increases since I was selling this item, so it's no longer above $3 profit, but this was a really awesome item for me. So I want to go ahead and jump into a kind of tutorial on the software I used to find this deal. So to find this simple plastic gutter that I was able to make about $500 in net profit selling, I used this tool called Tactical Arbitrage. If you're familiar with the channel, I'm sure you've seen this tool before, but I want to go ahead and break down this tool to show you one of my favorite ways to find product. So for those of you who are brand new to this tool, I want to go ahead and show you just briefly how it works very simply. So let's say I want to compare the prices of every item on Walmart.com to the prices on Amazon.com, and then I'm going to see if there's any opportunity for arbitrage, which is just a fancy word for finding a product that I'm able to buy from Walmart and sell for a profit over on Amazon. So I went ahead and pulled up Walmart, and now I can just go ahead and select any category I want to scan. So for example, why don't we just go ahead and press food here? We also have a little bit of scans left over, so why don't we click electronics? So we're going to add that to our search here. So now what this is going to do is it's going to compare every product on Walmart that's in those 2 categories. So all the groceries and all the electronics that Walmart sells, which is a ton of products. It's going to take that and compare those prices to Amazon using a certain set of filters that we're going to go ahead and give it here down here at the bottom. And the filters are by far the most important part of using this tool. I know a lot of beginners try this tool, don't have a lot of success with it, but 99% of the time, the reason you're not having success is because your filters are just a little wonky. They're not quite right. So I want to go ahead and walk through what I'm using for my filters on Tactical Arbitrage here. So for this example, for a Walmart search here, we can go ahead and plug in discounts, cashback, gift card, whatever. For Walmart, we're pretty much never going to have coupons. Like, I don't even know if Walmart has a coupon blank at checkout, probably not. So our store discount in this case is going to be empty, but something that's nice, especially working with Walmart, is number 1, we can get sales tax exempt. So we don't have to put any sales tax in here at the bottom. They do allow resellers. I uploaded my reseller certificate and I no longer have to pay sales tax at Walmart, which is really nice. Helps protect your margins. And another thing that I really like about Walmart is you can get their 5% cash back card, which I pretty much always have maxed out. So I went ahead and plugged that in here. So what this is going to do is it's now going to multiply the prices on Walmart by basically 0.95 because I'm basically getting 5% off, in a roundabout way. So now I have just a slight competitive advantage over the competition who are scanning these items without that. So that is a major key to using Tactical Arbitrage. Obviously, when you're scanning other websites, you're always going to be looking for coupon codes that you could plug in here, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you have as many discounts as you possibly can up here in this top filter, because that's going to give you such a massive competitive advantage compared to everyone else who's just, plugging in categories, press and search, not really going to find anything that way. But you got to give yourself a competitive advantage, and that's a great way to do it with Tactical Arbitrage. So again, I'll briefly run through the filters here. I do have like a very beginner basic filter setup video if you're interested in that video, but I'm going to go ahead and run through this very quickly here. So I prefer to remove anything with a sales rank over 175,000. Even then, that would be kind of pushing it. But I like to set my filters so that I can see a lot of items, because personally, I'm pretty good at looking through the data and scanning through and seeing a lot of duds right away. So if you're a brand new seller, you might have a little bit more strict filter set than this, but then you also have to think about the fact that you might be missing some potentially good stuff. So there's definitely going to be a trade-off there. So moving down the chart here, I remove things that Amazon sells. I also remove hazmat products. I just don't want to mess with hazmat. In my opinion, it's not worth it until I get to much bigger scale. I do know several multi-million-dollar sellers who are crushing it with the hazmat program, but there's just so much lower hanging fruit as a beginner. Don't worry about expanding into other marketplaces. Don't worry about hazmat. Just worry about the basics first, and then you can start to really expand your business. So right here, I like to remove the sellers if there are less than 2. If there's less than 2, typically it means it's a private label product, and that brand is going to come after us for trying to sell that product. Easy just to avoid those brands. And then I have it set to no more than 70 sellers on Tactical Arbitrage. I've competed with listings with more sellers than that, but that's just kind of a nice threshold I like to set for the items I'm finding with TA. Reviews and ratings, I both put a 3 on here just to establish that the item has a couple reviews and it's also not like the worst reviewed item in the world. Don't want to mess with returns, that kind of stuff. And then I also do filter items that are less than $9 and more than 200. Less than 9 is just difficult to make money. More than 200, those could be some really expensive returns there. And then I also try to flip on this one right here. I remove it if Amazon's been in stock 25% or more over the last 30 days because we don't compete with Amazon. Amazon does not share sales with us. That's just the way it is. You can also go ahead and throw in your cost to prep, your cost to ship. I like to keep things, again, as basic as possible. I can kind of do the math in my head, add in my prep costs. Your shipping costs are always going to be the same, so I go ahead and throw those on there, but do as you please there. And then for my gross profit, I filter for a minimum of $3, and then for ROI, I look for 35%. When something that's cool, I like to see as many things as possible, but if you're a beginner, I would highly recommend toggling the average 90-day price or the average 30-day price instead of the buy box price, because the buy box price could pull things where, let's say today it's selling for $40 and for the last year it's been selling for $10, but if you do average price, it's going to average to like $10.01 and it's going to know it's not actually a profitable item. So with all those filters set up, from here all you have to do is press search, and then that will send it to your queue and it will scan through these items. For these really big Walmart searches like that, this search in particular would probably take 8 hours of maybe even a full day to scan through all that data, but obviously it's going to depend on how big the category you're sourcing for how long that's going to take. So usually a very basic search like that where we only have 5% cash back, we didn't do a lot of external research to try to find extra coupons, stuff like that. Usually these searches aren't going to be that great, but the particular item, the gutter I was talking about a second ago, I actually did find with a standard Tactical Arbitrage search, just searching at retail price, it stayed replenishable for quite a while. Typically that's not going to be the case. Typically you're going to have to go the extra mile a little bit. So I showed you kind of a basic setup there for, no discounts, anything like that, but I do want to also introduce you to the concept of adding discounts, because in my opinion that's a much better way to use Tactical Arbitrage. But real quickly before we jump into that, I did want to mention that if you want to check out Tactical Arbitrage, you think it might be a good tool for your business, there's going to be a link down below for an extended 10-day free trial for you guys to go ahead and check out. If you use code FIELDS, that helps out the channel as well. I really appreciate when you guys do use the link for hopping on here, showing you guys how to use the tool. It just is a nice way to say thank you. So if you do think about checking out the tool, go ahead and check out that link, enter code FIELDS, get you a longer free trial. But let's go ahead and jump into the discount strategy here. So let's say we want to get a little bit more into the weeds. We want to find a discount to scan through. I went ahead and pulled up this website just as an example. VitaCost, fairly standard, trustworthy website. I've sourced from a decent amount. One thing I like to look for is just these top of the website banners, just like this one where we're getting 20% off gluten-free foods. So this could be a decent opportunity here. So what I like to do is I'll click through into the product category. And now most websites are set up like this where I can just go ahead and grab the URL up here at the top. And this is actually going to teach Tactical Arbitrage that all these products are included in this URL here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll go to VitaCost, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste the category down here. For start page, I'm going to go 1, and then it looks like the last page of this item is page 22. So my last page 22, there we go. So I'm going to leave the filters the same as we did last time. The only difference is I'm going to have to take away this 5% that I was getting from that credit card, but I am going to be able to apply a 20% store discount here. And another thing that is pretty fun to explore here is we can use a website called Rakuten. So we're going to go ahead and pull those up here, and I'm going to see what kind of cashback VitaCost is offering. It looks like right now we can get 3% cashback with Rakuten. So now instead of that 5%, we do still have 3%. So that's just a nice extra way to go ahead and add into our margins here. And in this case, VitaCost does not let you get sales tax exempt, so you might have to add that in here. I ship most of my products to Florida, where food and supplements are sales tax exempt. So in this case, I'm not going to have to pay sales tax on this order. Leveraging sales tax advantages like that is an awesome way to protect your margins even further. But now that we've got all this plugged in, we're just going to go ahead and press search. And now that's going to send this to the queue, and it's going to be a little bit more powerful of a search than the other ones we've been running, because we went the extra mile to plug in this URL and plug in the pages and plug in the discount and other virtual assistants and other brand new Amazon Amazon sellers probably aren't going the extra mile to do that extra work. So you're going to be able to see products that they're not seeing. So now that we've gone ahead and set up a couple successful tactical arbitrage scans here, this is where the real fun part happens. And this is where you're probably going to get frustrated and you might want to give up. But the view data tab, this is where all those items that tactical arbitrage scans says, hey, this might be a good item. Why don't you go ahead and take a look at this? It met all your filters. This is where setting up some certain settings is going to save you a ton of time, because I know a lot of people use tactical arbitrage. They set up scans just like I've showed you, but then they're just finding a whole bunch of junk. And it's only natural you are going to find a decent amount of junk with this software. But the way you're going to set up your columns and look through this data is a very refined skill. Like, it's just going to take time to get used to. One thing I will say to help you with this is to go to the Manage Columns tab as soon as you set up your tactical arbitrage account and drag these little things around. So like you can see, you can drag them wherever you want. So drag them around in a way that's going to help you read the data as fast as possible. For me, I like to put the Keepa chart here, and then the title, product image, and then the Amazon title and Amazon image. Those three things in combination help me save a ton of time clicking through to the actual, you know, in this case, it looks like Walmart links, whatever website you're searching, because kind of the name of the game with tactical arbitrage is to click through to as few listings as possible and only click through to the listings that you think might actually be interesting. So we can just go ahead and get started right off the bat here. We'll go ahead and jump into this for a couple minutes, show you kind of my thought process. So the first thing I'm seeing right off the bat is this item is a very consistent seller. You can see the price stays almost stable, but the pictures don't exactly match. I'm a little bit interested. I also see it sold by a third party. So this is probably not going to be anything great, but we can check. We might as well check. So let's see what we got going on here. So this is definitely a 4-pack. The picture is a 4-pack, says 4-pack in the title right here. And you're going to see a lot of this with tactical arbitrage. It's just the name of the game, but you have to think about how many items you were going to look through without using a software like this that are just complete junk. I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect software out there, but tactical arbitrage is going to save you looking through a bunch of stuff manually. So for the sake of this video, I think I'm just going to go ahead and skip the third-party stuff from Walmart. You can find some success with third-party on Walmart, but it's a little bit iffy, and just to kind of fast track us to finding something that's actually good here. So this item right here looks like it is selling more consistently for like 25 bucks. Seems like it pulled a price of $27, slightly low ROI. We can see the 36% ROI. So this price is slightly too high compared to what it normally sells for. So we're going to keep on scrolling past here. So this one actually looks a little more interesting. It looks like it's telling me I'm restricted in Beyblade, but being gated is a very easy problem to solve. Finding profitable products is a lot harder than getting ungated. There's so many distributors out there you can use to get ungated in a product like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look, see what we might be looking at in terms of profit here. So this is selling for $44 right now. Looks like there's only 3 sellers on this listing, which would be nice. It seems like the competition has gone down recently. So one thing I am going to check here is the 90-day average buy box price. This is the average price that it's selling for. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'll plug in my cost price of 20 bucks. So this item looks pretty decent right off the bat. So we're going to go ahead and check it on Walmart. Looks like it is unfortunately out of stock. It's going to happen. So what we could do here is we could add this product to a list where, you know, every week or so we go back, return to these products, see if they came back in stock. I have a spreadsheet like that. I have a virtual assistant looking through that every now and then to see what's come back into stock. They'll let me know, but that's a nice way to kind of develop a list of things you know are good. And if they are out of stock and people are having trouble finding them, if you are going to be the one who's able to hop on these listings and not have trouble finding it, you find it in stock, you get 50 of them, you're going to have a lot less competition because this item is hard to find. So I do want to find at least one good product here with you guys today. So this one looks really interesting. Looks like the price is kind of fluctuating around, but when that price returns, it looks like Amazon kind of has a lot of trouble staying in stock here. So I'm happy to sell on a listing like this where Amazon might be having trouble staying in stock. It looks like the Walmart specific offer went out of stock and now it's returned to a third-party seller. So again, this would be another option for us to add a product to a list where we could go ahead and return to that, because it looks like the buy box on this one is about 16 bucks on average or so. So this would be really awesome for us to buy this for 5 bucks. It's only $3.60 profit, but it is a 70% ROI item. Seems fairly stable. It looks like it's been selling. Top of these buy box sales here, it looks like it's been selling for 16 bucks pretty consistently. So we're going to keep on looking here though. We've got a Burt's Bees little eyebrow pencil. So we're looking at the blonde version here. I'll make sure it's the blonde over on Target. So over on Target, it does look like this item is in stock for shipping. Looks like we're going to be able to buy it for $9.49. We're going to go ahead and check out the unit economics over here on Amazon. It's the blonde pencil. Just want to make sure everything's the same. 0.04 ounces. Looks like the sizes are the same. So this honestly looks like a pretty decent item to me. It looks like Amazon has sold this item in the past, but they've been out of stock on it for long enough that I'm willing to take a risk on this item. Plus, this item is selling for $32. Like, this almost seems too good to be true. Like, I'm looking around here for something to make this not as good as it seems, but it seems like a really, really good item. So if we're buying it for $9.49, we're selling it for $32. This seems like a home run of an item. I probably should even put this in a YouTube video, but seems like a very good item. One thing I will check with this item is to make sure it's not a multi-pack. So to do that, I'll check the ratings down here, and I'm looking for anyone complaining that like, hey, this was supposed to be a 3-pack. I only got one. But as I'm looking here, I don't see that many negative reviews, and I also see that it's explicitly saying here that it's a 1-pack of this item. So this item honestly seems like an absolute home run. I really don't see what I'm missing here. If I'm missing something, let me know down in the comments. It is absolutely a refined skill to be very attentive to detail, make sure you're buying the exact same item. Like I said, it seems too good to be true. But one thing I am going to look at here is to see how many of these items we should go ahead and buy, because this does seem like a very good item here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check SellerAmp here, and I'm going to go ahead and see how many other competitive sellers are on this listing. In this case, it looks like we just have one competitive seller, because what I mean by that is an FBA seller who is selling within a couple percentage points of the buy box price. In this case, there's no buy box, so it's just going to be going to the low FBA seller. So we would be the second competitive seller on this listing. So looking at how many times this item has sold per month, in theory, we'd be able to sell this item 72 times, and with a profit of $14 a unit, that is not too bad at all right there. But I do notice that this is on a variation listing, which means that this number is the number of sales for the entire listing and not just this specific color. So in this case, the brunette is getting some of these sales, and I would imagine the brunette is a little cheaper. So you can see here it's $8.39. So a lot of these reviews might be going to the brunette, but we'll see here. Running the review checker down here on SellerAmp, it looks like the blonde actually has 44% of the ratings, which is very surprising to see, but that's good. That means that this is actually selling. So if this is selling 142 times a month and it's getting about 44% of the sales, doing some estimation, that means we would be able to buy about 35 units and sell 35 units every single month. So you could stock up however you see fit. In this item, I would probably test buy about 20 to make sure that this item is really selling for that price, because it seems like a very, very good item to the point where it's almost too good to be true. But this is an absolute home run of an item. If we do go ahead and get that test data, make sure the item's actually selling. But it looks like it only took us just a couple minutes here to find a potentially very profitable item to sell on Amazon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of looking at the kind of strategies I use to find items like that gutter and sell items like that on my store every day. It doesn't have to be as complicated as a lot of people make it for selling on Amazon. So just get started today. If you guys did get value out of this video, please feel free to add some value to my business and hit that subscribe button down below. Really appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to drop those down below as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.